Yo, welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. My apologies for being a few minutes late today. Some technical audio difficulties on my end, but it's all good. We are here, live and in the flesh. Top of the morning to everyone. Um, Hopefully the audio sounds good to you guys. It still sounds like it's cracking on my end a little bit, but if y'all can let me know in the comment section how it sounds, be greatly appreciated. We got two more game number fives on the board for today, and we'll jump into a quick recap, see what jaXon likes, all that good stuff. So, action-packed show for today. We'll start with a quick recap of yesterday. This is not the recap of yesterday. Let's go in and see if we can find the recap of yesterday. Recap of yesterday, and it was a good one, man. Boston first half was a winner, minus the three. It was on the short list for yesterday. I ended up on Minnesota 1-10 win margin. They won the game by 7. That was a plus 155, which puts us at 2.84 units for the day, and that's a lovely, lovely payout. I don't typically get 2.84 unit payouts. If you've been watching the show, you know. Boston, New York full game under 209 was a losing proposition from the beginning. Boston wasn't playing any defense. New York played great offensively. Boston also was knocking down some shots and scoring as well. The short list that we had on the screen yesterday before we finished the show was also 3-1. Both of those player props cash. Boston first half was on there. The under was on there, which would have been the only loser. Ant to go over his 4.5 assists was a winner. I didn't bet it. And Derek White over his 21.5 points plus rebound was another winner. So the ChrisBeCappinn Community should have did pretty well yesterday. And I'm glad I did. We picked back up after not having the official plays on Sunday to land in the green again. Algina says, good morning, Chris and community. Went 2-1 on your plays last night. Appreciate your analysis you put forth every day, Chris. Let's keep the momentum rolling. Appreciate that, Algina. What up to my guy, Justin? Good morning, Marquise. Says draft lottery was real fugazi. Dallas #1 pick at a 1.8% chance. Come on now. And Wizards' worst team landed at 6. That's good for the Wizards, man. I like to see that for the Wizards. What up, Prolific says, good morning, Chris. Cash on Celtics first half, spread minus 4.5 at plus money, and then fell apart. That's what they be doing, man. They do be doing that. What up, JFX? He says, man, I'm sad Celtics seasons is basically cooked at this point, but at least they did the liberty of covering first half spread every game so far. They absolutely have, man. They have. What up, Dom? Says happy Tuesday, Chris and chat. Boston -3 cash. Gotta love people that try to be contrarian for no reason when the trend and data says otherwise. You just let them, think what they want to think. They don't get too much time for me, Dom. People go look at the games however they want to. And it's the time of the year where, it feels like a lot of people going to be on one side and a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I need to fade that side. I always tell you guys, do your homework, play what it is that you want to play, man, whether you're on my side or not. What up, Prestigious Prodigy? Good morning, Brian. Says home teams tonight. Let's get it. Top of the morning. Yeah, prayers up for Tatum, man. You can see his Achilles. I got a homeboy who popped his Achilles out of place probably about 7 years ago now. And every time, he lives in Atlanta, but every time he's always watching the game same way I am, and he'll text me and be like, yep, it's Achilles. And last night, before I could even look at my phone, he'd text me like, that's Achilles, bro. I'm like, damn, yep, that's Achilles. Just know what it feel like, know what it look like. So yeah, man, get well soon, Tatum. Speedy recovery. I don't even know if it was officially diagnosed yet, but probably what it is. And you hate to see that, especially in the art of war, man. Tatum was out there, trying to put it all on the line last night. Doing his thing too. Doing his thing, man. Good morning, Swish. DFX says hit the like button to show some love. This man stays blessing us with free info. Always appreciate it, Chris. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate that as well. Good morning, Faith. Good morning, Ken. NYC says New York Knicks, let's go. They look good, man. They look good last night. Larry says, what's up, Chris? We pounding the Pacers tonight or what? Let's not overthink it. We're going to talk about it in just a second. What up, Mark? Appreciate you for tapping in. Says, yep, it was a nice day in all sports. Even Gobert under 8.5. I'm guessing that's rebounds hit last night as well. All right, let's jump into it for today, man. We'll start with jaXon as we always do. jaXon went 1-1 yesterday, another 1-1 split for jaXon yesterday. jaXon liked Porzingis over his 3.5 boards, winner, and jaXon liked Brunson under. Jackson like Brunson. I think it was like 34.5 points and assists under. And pretty sure that was a loser yesterday. Brunson, I think, went over that with just his points alone. Dude caught fire last night. Couldn't lose, couldn't really miss last night. So yeah, that was a loser. So 1-1 day for Jackson yesterday. Wanted to kind of stick to the same prompt, but I also wanted to give you guys a total bet as well. So let's jump into it for today. So first prompt: what are the two best player props in the NBA today? One over, one under, based off player performances. Jackson says that it likes Jalen Williams, of City Thunder, 5 assists today, over 4.5 assists. Says the Nuggets ranked 29th in assists versus position. Versus players like Jalen Williams' position, indicating a very favorable matchup. He's hit the over 80% of his last 5 games and 80% of his last 10 games. He's averaging 5.2 and 5.1 assists, respectively. Against the Nuggets this season, he has a 75% hit rate, averaging 5.88 assists in the 8 matchups. He's hit the over 61.54% of the games with a season average of 5.14. The best odds for this bet, based on Jackson, says that it's about a minus 150. I wouldn't play at minus 150. Maybe you find a better line, but minus 150 on ESPN bet is what Jackson is saying. The other play under recommendation is on Tyrese Halliburton under his 4.5 boards today. Since Cleveland ranked second against the opposing players at Halliburton's position, making it a tough matchup. Halliburton hit the under 70% of his last 20 games and averages just 4.4 rebounds over that span. On the road this season, he's hit the under in 70% of his games, averaging just 3.77 rebounds. History matchup against the Cavs this season, Halliburton has a 50% hit rate, averaging 4.33 rebounds in 6 matchups. The best line available, minus 145 on Caesar. So Jackson likes Halliburton under his rebounds and Jalen Williams, Jalen, over his 4.5 assists today. As far as total bet, prompt was what's the best NBA total bet today based on playoff advanced stats. Jackson says that it likes the over between the Denver Nuggets and the Oklahoma City Thunder, over 220.5. Here's why. Playoff scoring trends. The Thunder have been one of the most efficient offenses in the playoffs, averaging 118 points per game. The Nuggets, despite their slow pace, have consistently scored over 110 points per game in the postseason. Advanced offensive metrics, both teams ranked top 5 in offensive efficiency during the playoffs. The Thunder lead the playoffs in effective field goal percentage, while the Nuggets are top 3 for assists per game, indicating strong ball movement and high-quality shot creation. Defensive vulnerability. The Nuggets have struggled defensively against high-paced teams, allowing opponents to score 115 points in 3 of their last 5 games. The Thunder's defense ranks in the bottom half of playoff teams in points allowed per possession. Game context. This is a pivotal game in the series, and both teams are expected to push the pace to gain an edge. High-stake games often lead to increased scoring as teams rely on their offensive stars. Line value. The total of 220.5 points is slightly lower than expected based on playoff scoring trends and advanced metrics. Model projects a combined score of 224 to 226 points, providing value on the over here. So Jackson likes over between the Nuggets and the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I think I agree with that. So that's what Jackson likes. Again, check Jackson out. As always, use promo code ChrisBeCappinn, 2 P's, 2 N's, 50% promo code in the description of this video to check it out for yourself. And remember, WNBA starts on Friday. Oh, I'm glad I remembered that. WNBA starts on Friday. 3 games. I will be on Friday breaking down those 3 games, but also I'll put out some WNBA previews. I think it'll probably be 2 different videos. They won't be live, but I'll go through, pre-record those videos, kind of give you guys my thoughts. If I'm making any bets as far as, preseason, not preseason, but, pre-WNBA season actually starting, as far as future bets, team total overs, those type of things. I do think that there's a couple that I'm looking at. So as I've, and I'm pretty much finished. I just got to actually create the content now, but, create those videos. I will be having 2 WNBA videos, probably just breaking down the conferences. So if you're interested in WNBA, be on the lookout for that. But yeah, check Jackson out as well. And let's jump into the matchups for today. So Cavs and Pacers. Let me just double check this line. The eights are now gone. So last night when I made these graphics, this was at 8. It has now been moved to back down to 7.5. So some money kind of pushing this down. The total has gone up all the way up to 230.5 points. And yeah, right. Okay. I just want to make sure I got this right. So yeah. So Cavs Pacers on the road, looking to close the series out. Cavs trying to keep it, trying to force a game 6. Total. All right, so let's go through it. I got some good feedback yesterday from you guys about having the numbers on the screen. So here are the game 4 numbers. I don't think that you take these numbers into too much consideration. It was an absolute domination. That of the Indiana Pacers, what they were able to do to the Cleveland Cavaliers, just punched them in the mouth right out the gate. Never really were able to recover. Matter of fact, in the first half, the Cavs shot 26% from the field, 25% from the 3-point line, 25% from the field. Gave up 80 points in that game as well. So Cleveland coming back home. Should they get right in this spot? I'll tell you guys, and I bet this one already too. I think we got. Let's start with the injury report. So Donovan Mitchell, of course, left with the sprained ankle. He did not return. Re-aggravated it from a previous injury. Reports did suggest, and I did this research yesterday. Reports suggest that he told reporters that he would be, quote, good for today's game, but the final decision is a pending decision. I think he's going to be out there. Game, season on the line, in front of your home crowd. I always say this: call Jalen Brunson, call the Knicks medical staff, see what they do for injuries. Even OG Anunoby limped off what it looked like a quad injury or some kind of hamstring injury. He just came right back out there. He dunking, shooting threes, like whatever they do in the medical tent is what the Cleveland Cavaliers need. As far as the game goes, though, I bet the Pacers. I jumped on this one before the line. I actually got a worse of the number. I played +7 for the Pacers. I think was trying to get ahead of the Donovan Mitchell news just in case he wasn't able to give it a go. I think he'll be out there though, and you can get a better number than I did. I got 7 on FanDuel as soon as game number 4 ended. Yes, I do think the Cleveland Cavaliers will likely fight really hard to respond with their backs against the wall at home in this series, being down 1-3. However, even if Donovan Mitchell, who is listed as questionable, does play, do they really blow out Indiana in this spot? I don't think so. It is not that they aren't capable of doing so. We've seen a blowout, in this series. They actually blew them out in Indiana in game number 3. But we got to remember the Pacers already then came in here, won 2 games in Cleveland already. They're a healthier team, which I think is astronomical from this perspective. What we've seen from Darius Garland in the first 2 games is when you miss, 14, 15 days of basketball, it's really hard to get back in game action really quickly. So you're a step slow, which has led to him getting in foul trouble. The Pacers, of course, not going to slow the game down so he can get in, kind of get his win back and be out there. He's also playing through a lot of pain as well. So I'm expecting Cleveland to come out and punch first, to punch early. I couldn't talk anybody else off if they like Cleveland first half, because I do think that they will respond. I just think when the dust settles and clears at the end of the fourth quarter, the Pacers will keep this game close. I don't think that Cleveland is going to – they probably won't turn the ball over 22 times. You can see that, in this graphic here. They probably won't turn the ball over 22 times to give up 35 points on those turnovers. They probably, like I said, won't shoot 26% from the 3-point line and 25% from the field in the first half specifically. They probably won't give up 80 points in the first half to the Indiana Pacers. But and Cleveland may not give up 58 points in the paint either. They gave up 50. They lost the points in the paint 58-32. You can see it in the bottom, the second column, second up from the bottom. That probably won't happen again. They probably won't even give up 37 assists to the Pacers as well. But I do think the Pacers can shoot the ball well. You can see that they shot 52.7% from the field. I'm expecting that to come down. but they also shot 43% from the three-point line. I'm not saying that they're going to shoot 43% from the free throw line again, but I do think that they can shoot the ball well. Cleveland's perimeter defense has been something that's been lacking for the whole series. So the Pacers can, get in there, penetrate like Tyrese Halliburton has been able to do throughout this series, kick back out to the shooters, the Pascal Siakams of the world, the Benedict Mathurin who has something to prove, in this series. The Miles Turners of the world, I do think that they keep it within the number. I bet the Pacers +7. As far as player props in this game, I don't really know what to do, what I want to do as far as player prop goes. Like the Pacers are such a well-rounded team that nothing really feels like super to me, is my opinion. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Maybe we'll go back and look at some player props in just a second. Let's see. Sir, he says White and had Julius Randle for 2 threes. A great night. Love to hear that. Let's see. Good morning, Anthony. What up, Lingowick? What up, Adam? Says made a lot of money last night. Love to hear that. Peasy says definitely ready for the W. What up, Brian? Says what up, Chris? Gonna spend a unit on Pacers +7.5, and on the money line. Think that they get it done tonight. Okay, yeah, I bet the +7. I think is what I got. So I like it. Appreciate you, Adam. If y'all could take a second out y'all day to hit the like button, it is appreciated for the show. What up? Call me Aries. Says what's good, Chris? Let's get this money, man. Absolutely. Who is that? Says Turner over his points. Dom says grab Pacers +7.5, sprinkled a little bit on the money line. Likes the team total under 118.5 for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Could be hard for them to score 119 points without Darius Garland. Without a healthy Donovan Mitchell. Mobley over for Tony. Mobley's gonna have to be the guy, right? He's gonna have to be the guy, depending on what information we get from now until game time about Donovan Mitchell being listed as questionable. Justin says he'll play Darius Garland over his 25.5 points and assists at -122 in his pocket. Brian says, Chris, your mic is cutting out. Still hear you, but it's something up. Yeah, I kind of feel that's why the show started late, because I don't know what it is. I went in and played with the settings. Everything sounded good. All my settings right. I'm not sure what it is. I'll look a little bit more into it. Hopefully you guys can hear me throughout the show. Let's see. Dom says Rick Carlisle figured out that zone, and it was curtains. Does Kenny Atkinson have a counter? We shall see, man. We shall see. Mark says I hit Indiana with you the other night, Chris. I also played the over last night at 228.5. I talked about over on Sunday. I didn't get there, but it was a game that went over. I just think that the pace is going to be played really, really fast, in my opinion. Now, Cleveland will probably try to slow this pace down, in my opinion. But Cleveland also, they're at their best, right? When they were on those big win streaks, the 15-game win streaks, the 5-game win streaks, the 7-game win streaks throughout the season, it's because they were knocking down shots. We got to remember, man, Pacers were a top 5 defense in the NBA against the three-point shot. That's one of the things that I liked about Cleveland. Liked about the Pacers, from the beginning. Then you start sprinkling all the injuries, these guys not being 100%. It's Indiana for me, man. It's Indiana. Chicago Bulls fan says Cavs first quarter -1.5. I would probably be on that side, thinking that they give it everything that they have early. Even when Cleveland lost those earlier games in the series, similar to Boston, they were at home. They came out. They got the leads early. It was, Pacers coming back and making the adjustments at halftime. So we'll see how this one goes, but I couldn't talk you off a Cavs early bet at all. Who just says, I think the Pacers close them out as well. I kind of feel indifferent about the total, Mark. I'm probably going to stay away from this total. Now that it's up to 230, I see a 231 on the board. I probably would lean a little bit more towards the under, but I think I'm gonna stay off of it. I really think I'm gonna stay off of it. Appreciate you, Justin. Appreciate this for sure as well. Appreciate you, Anthony, for letting me know that as well. All right, y'all didn't say anything about player props. Like I said, I couldn't really find anything that I absolutely love. The Pacers have been juggling high. Pascal Siakam had another big game. It wouldn't really surprise me much at all. He's been playing pretty good recently as well. So we'll stick there. We'll stick to that. Let's move over to the next game. I've not bet this one yet, but we got the Denver Nuggets and the Oklahoma City Thunder. This line has moved. It looks like 10.5 into consensus now. So some money has come in on OKC. This open with Denver laying 10.5, and it's just kind of fluctuated back and forth. The total did open at, let's see, 217.5, and it's been bet up to 220.5. And like I said, I kind of agree with the money on that's coming in on the over. Let's update this, put this at 10.5, and then update this to 220.5. All right, there we go. So yeah, I kind of agree with the over. I think if we go back to game 4 that was played in Denver on Sunday, we just saw, the offense is kind of take a while to get going. The end of the first quarter, it was 17 to 8. I don't think we'll see some offensive regression from these teams tonight. Not sure how much we see from on the Denver side of things, but Denver, if they can go in there and dominate the boards, probably get themselves a chance to keep this close again. As far as being able to score the basketball, the team total is like 104.5 though. I was like, ugh, it's a little gross to like. So let's jump into it. Numbers are here, right? Both of the teams shot the ball really, really poorly. As you can see, 35% is what OKC shot, and Denver shot 31%. Probably the first time Denver shot the ball that bad all season. Both teams also shot really, really terrible from the three-point line. You can see 24.4% for both teams. Free throw percentage with free throws were about even. I do think that Denver probably has a hard time getting back to the line 36 times, even though I am expecting them to shoot the ball a little bit better. But what I'll say about that, and what was also interesting to me, a couple things here. So OKC won the rebounding battle. That's the second game in a row OKC actually went into Denver and won the rebounding battle. 55 to 49. 15 offensive rebounds. And I actually thought Denver was the better offensive rebounding team, but with their backs against the wall being down 2-1, we saw OKC come out and win the game with their defense. And I think that's the most important thing. When we think about these two teams, right, you're ranking it's 4 units, right? You got an offense for both sides. You got a defense for both sides. In my opinion, I always thought OKC's defense was the best unit of these 4. And I thought the worst unit was the Denver Nuggets defense, right? We know Denver can score the basketball. They like to push pace. They got probably the best, if not the second best offensive player. They got the more playoff experience. Jamal Murray's been playing pretty good. Russell Westbrook's been having some offensive explosion type games, and Aaron Gordon has been an absolute savior for them throughout the playoffs. So Denver, of course, they can play offense. The thing that's been surprising in the last 2 games, I actually pulled this up. I'm not going to share it on the screen, but I was going through this earlier this morning using cleaning the glass. In the last 2 games for the Oklahoma City Thunder, they got an offensive rating of a 94.8 and a 99.0. These have been probably the 2 worst offensive performances that they've had probably in the entire season. Like, you would have to go back to, it looks like March the 15th when they played Detroit and they won 113 to 107 to find them with an offensive rating that's below 105. So 2 back-to-back offensive games where they have played really, really poorly. I kind of think that we see a little bit of regression. I kind of think that they are able to score the basketball. I would agree with this total going up to 220.5. Like I said, I haven't bet it quite yet. I do think that the Denver Nuggets offense also plays a little bit better. Denver had an offensive rating of 88.8 in their last game. Like this, you're not going to find too many poor offensive performances than what we saw in that last game. Before that, in game 3, they had a 108.7 offensive rating. This was the game that they actually stole, forcing overtime and then holding the Oklahoma City Thunder to 2 points in the final 5 minutes of the overtime. So we go back to the first 2 games, right? And this is where I kind of start to get towards a play here. So if we're thinking about early, I think OKC first half, the number 6.5, and immediately I thought to myself, oh, that's a lot to lay, right? But if we go back to the first few games of the series, right, game 1 and game 2, OKC was actually winning at halftime in game one, 60-50, right? And game two, so they had a 10-point lead at halftime. They covered this number. Game two, they were up 87-56. Remember, they lost game one. They won game two. 87-56 was the game that they absolutely blew them out, 149-106. So, what is that? 31-point margin in the first half in game two. That's an outlier. But a 10-point margin in game number one, which I don't think is too much of an outlier. OKC does feel like, if somebody said this on the show the other day on Sunday, OKC plays a lot better in the first half, right? For whatever reason, when the game slows down, their offense is not clicking as much. Also, here's the next thing. Even in game three, they were up by 5 at halftime in Denver. We go back, we fast forward back to game number 4 on Sunday, they were up 6. So coming back home, now it's the best of the 3 series. I do think that we get, full effort from OKC. I do think that I like the way that they've been able to defend Nikola Jokic in his last few games. Like, this is something that we've never quite seen before. The defense that they've been able to play on Nikola Jokic. I think the regression comes from the Denver Nuggets on the defensive end. Their defense has been really, really good. I'm not sure if OKC is going to continue to struggle to shoot the basketball the way that they have, but I do want to give Denver credit. The defense has been really, really good. So I say all that to say OKC minus first and a half is something on the short list, minus 6.5. As much as I want to get to Denver plus 10.5, because I think 10.5 is a lot of points to lay. If we go back and look at the last 2 games that were played in Denver, Denver actually won one and they were getting 6 points. And then they kept the game 4 close as well. They lost that game by 5 and they were getting 6.5. So it does feel like 10.5 is a lot to lay. But one thing I looked at was game 5 double-digit home favorites, laying 10 or more in a tie series. They're 7-1 straight up and against the spread, going all the way back to 2003. So for whatever reason, they do get right in this spot. That kind of scares me a little bit with Denver. I think if I had to bet it, it would be OKC first half minus 6.5, and then Denver for the full game plus 10.5. I don't think that they'll roll over and play dead in this game. I think that they can cover the full game, getting 10.5 here. So those will be my 2 recommendations. OKC early, first half minus 3.5. First half minus 6.5. Full game plus 10.5 is what I would be looking at. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. We'll go through and see if y'all got any thoughts on the player props, and then we'll get over into a quick recap. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anything. What up, Rich? Says hope y'all are doing well. Finally had a winning night last night. Love to hear that. Dom says Denver first half team total under 53.5. Thunder opponents are 5-2-1 to the first half under in playoffs. 3-0-1 as a home favorite. I think this is highly correlated, Doms, with them to win the first half minus the 6.5 as well. I like half minus under 53.5, under 54 points in the first half. What up, Helms? There's 3 more days to the W starts. So looking forward to that, Helms. We got 3 games on Friday. Again, like I said, I will be doing conference breakdowns. Have those videos uploaded. Hopefully today's Tuesday, hopefully by Thursday. So you guys will have that. And then Friday, I'll do a separate WNBA video as well. Anthony says Cash Jokic under his assist last game, going back to it today. They are doing a really good job of shrinking the floor. Defense has been really, really good against Jokic for sure. Adam says, how about OKC second quarter again? Joker sits second quarter usually. The problem with this, Adam, while I think it's a good bet, I bet it on in game 3, they lost. And then I didn't bet it in game 4, thank goodness, because they lost again. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Dom says he likes it though. Second quarter -3 for OKC. Bet at your own risk says I took the first half total under 113.5 back-to-back games. The under hit. I believe the under hit again tonight as well. Okay. Mark says I'm playing second quarter again. Agree OKC should shoot better, more efficiently. Dom says OKC first quarter, first half, third quarter team total over, first half full game. Oh, first half full game. I think Oklahoma City works Denver tonight. can get on Jokic assists is under 8.5 at -130. Let's go through and look at that real quick. We haven't even been to Outlier today in the first at all. So let's go take a short field trip over to Outlier. I think that's a good prop to look at. So, all right. So let's look at this. Let's look at Nikola Jokic on his assist prop for tonight. 8.5 is the number, which has come down, right? We know that this was 9.5 for the first few games. Last round, I think it might have been 10.5. All right. So we're looking at his assists. We can see that he has been struggling to get there. Only over in 3 of his last 10 games. He's actually gone under in every game so far this series. It's not like they give up a ton of assists. 4th on the full season against the center position. They also 4th as well. So this is already a nice start to the handicap. And we got to go look at the potentials, right? So potentials are absolutely down, highly correlated with him getting 20 plus potentials and him going up and over the assists, right? So 22 here, he finished with 12. 20 here, he finished with 13. 19 here, he finished with 10. And in these last few games, he hasn't even gotten to 18. So if I cross-reference this with, let's see. Let's go potential assists. Let's say Jokic has less than 17 potential assists or less. So 8.5, he is under this number in 22 games. That's a 59.1% hit rate, averaging 7.7 when he gets 17 potential assists or less. He's actually gone under in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 straight games has Nikola Jokic stay under his assist prop when he has 17 potential assists or less. I like it a lot. Yeah, 17 assists or less. I like it. I'm gonna actually add that to the short list. I don't even know if I really need to do too much more handicapping. I guess I'll go in and listen to what the coaches are saying. I like that a lot. Anthony, shout out to Anthony. Now let's cross-reference this. This is how I be betting, how I be making bets too. Then I go to OddsJam, right? I type in player assists. I'm not gonna show this on the screen, but check out that link for OddsJam if you guys are interested. I look at player assists, name, and I see -125 on Fanatics right now. -130 on DraftKings, -130 on ESPN Bet. If you guys got Fanatics and you're not limited, -125 is available right now. Best number available. FanDuel got it all the way at -140. So do BetMGM. Like it, Anthony. Nice. I like that a lot. All right. Yeah. I think we did a really good job and found the player prop that we like. Well, I know it's one that I like based off the numbers. Any other thoughts or comments? What up, Kyle? Appreciate you for tapping in. It's just sad we're almost done with the season. New seasons are on the horizon, man. New season on the horizon. WNBA starts, and I'm super excited for that. What up, Thomas? Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you for tapping in. All right. We did a really good job here, I think, in my opinion. All right, let's jump back over. I bet Indy. I got +7. The number on the screen is +8 because there was a +8 available when I started the show this morning. I want you guys to get the best number. I'm gonna grade myself for a +7 because that's what I took. Right now, you actually can't get a +8. So the 8s are, well, you can get an 8 if you got Bet Bally. Bally Bet, I'm sorry. They got +8. That, and Bet Rivers got a +8 at -114. But yeah, I played the +7 just so you guys know. Take the 7.5 or the 8 if you can get it. Don't play +7 like I did. I got the worst of the number. We talked about OKC early. Minus the 6.5, I think is should be the right side in my opinion. I haven't bet it though. And then if I'm playing the full game though, I do like Denver, like I said, plus the points. I think even though, like I said, that those game 5 double-digit home favorites land, game 5 double-digit home favorites in a tied series, they're 7-1 straight up and against the spread. Sometimes you can't go off of historic spots. I had Nikola Jokic under 8.5 assists. If that's something that you guys are looking for as far as player props go, I think that's it, man. I think we did a pretty good job here. Use the link in the description to get the plays that I make when I do make them, though, if you guys are interested in doing that. And yeah, that'll be it. Check the resources out. Again, Jackson likes, what I say Jackson likes? Jackson likes the over between Denver and OKC, which I think it does go over today. Jackson likes Tyrese Halliburton under his rebounds at 4.5. Jackson likes Jalen Williams, Jalen, over his 4.5 assists as well. So yeah, check that link out for Jackson, for Outlier, for Moneyballer, for OddsJam. And if you're looking for a new sports book, if you use that link in the description, that's a really great way to support the channel as well. And there are sign-up bonuses that are attached to those links as well. So definitely check those out. That'll be the show for today, man. Enjoy your Tuesday. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I'm out.